Our redemption from Egypt is undoubtedly the greatest act of chesed that God performed for us. And therefore it's appropriate when we commemorate this event, we too should perform an act of chesed, kindness. And we do. It's part of the preamble to the Haggadah. Let me remind you. We start off by saying, Halach ma'anya, this is the bread of affliction or poverty, Yachalo avatana be'ara de Mitzrayim, which our ancestors ate in Egypt. Kol dichvi yete ve'yecha, let anyone who is hungry come and eat. Kol ditzrich yete ve'yitzach, let anyone who is in need come and partake of the Pesach. Now remember that this invitation was originally issued with doors and windows open. It was a genuine invitation. And Rambam says, anybody who invites a poor person to eat and drink at his table like a guest, then when he cries out to the Lord, he will surely answer him and give him comfort and satisfaction. But I have a problem. What does it mean, let him come and partake of the Pesach? It can't be the Paschal Lamb. We haven't had one in over 1900 years since the temple was destroyed. So I suggest that it means come and partake of the essence of Pesach. And what is the essence of Pesach? Zaman Cherutenu, it is the season of our freedom. So we're in effect saying to this poor old man, leave your problems, your troubles on the doorstep, come into the warmth, sit at our table like a free man, and in the face of all your adversity and your troubles, declare yourself to be a Ben Cholim. On this night of nights, you are free. Now, this theme of declaring one's freedom in the face of adversity recurs in Jewish history, Jewish experience. Take, for example, the tragic age of Rabbi Akiva. Bar Kokhba, the messianic hero, was dead. The messianic dreams were shattered, and the terrible Emperor Hadrian imposed upon them impossible decrees, harsh decrees. You shall not study the Torah, you must not keep the mitzvot. And how did our people respond? Defiance. We will keep the mitzvot, we will study the Torah, we will circumcise our children, we will celebrate the Pesach and eat matzah. For in this way, we are defying your cruelty, and in the face of terrible adversity, we are proclaiming our freedom to love the Lord our God with all our hearts, with all our souls, with all our minds. And if we have to die for it, then at least we'll die on our terms, Adrian. We'll die freed men. Again, in the Middle Ages, in a sense it was worse because it went on for generations. For generations, our people were excluded from human contact, shut away in their ghettos. They were excluded from any kind of liberal trade or profession. So they had to resort to money lending, for which they were hated. So heads we lost and tails we couldn't win. And Pesach was a particularly dangerous time for medieval Jewry, because as they were busying themselves with their preparations for Pesach, their Christian neighbours were also busy preparing for Easter, which commemorated the death of their Saviour, which they blamed upon the Jewish people. And so they worked themselves up into a frenzy. They descended upon the Jewish quarter with blood and pillage in their hearts. And how did the Jews react? They bolted their doors and their windows, sat down at their table, and in defiance of that terrible adversity, they proclaimed their freedom. We are free to worship our God as we choose and not as you would force us to do. That's our freedom. What of our brave new world, the 21st century? Well, I think we're all aware of the fact that a shadow of darkness hovers over Europe. You'd have thought they had learned their lesson in the 20th century. They haven't, and they never will. With the result that anti-Semitism is manifesting itself everywhere, and particularly here in England. For now it is endemic in a major political party, It is encrypted in their political manifesto, and it is supported, encouraged by their leader, who may one day be the Prime Minister of this country. Moreover, they mock us. What anti-Semitism? We're not anti-Semites. We've never been anti-anything except Israel. They make fun of us. And how have we retaliated? Uncharacteristically, because we've stood up and shouted in the media, in the press. We've called out their liars. We've challenged and itemized every anti-Semitic word, every anti-Semitic deed, because in this way we are declaring to them, you think that we are in bondage to your intimidation. We are not. We proclaim our freedom. We claim our freedom according to the ancient democratic traditions of this great country. Therefore, you may scare us, but you will not intimidate us. Now, I don't believe for a moment that this will have a great impact on a forthcoming election, but at least we've wiped the smirk off their faces. The Jews of England are no longer a joke. So, my friends, let's enter into the festival of Pesach with a modicum of increased confidence. Let us sit down at our Seder table, tell the old familiar story, sing the old familiar songs. But there's one line when you come to it, I want you to shout it out loud. This has stood for us, for our fathers. It wasn't just a single adversary who rose up against us, threatened us. But they have risen up in every generation to threaten us, to destroy us. But God has saved us from their hands. He continues to do so. So, my friends, enjoy your Seder, and may you be spared to enjoy many Sedarim to come, when we shall again proclaim ourselves to be free.